When it comes to the best media sources for your home entertainment setups, there is literally no other option than this device. Now, globally as well as in our country, Apple TV ranks number one when it comes to the best OTT streamer for your home theater setups. But you know what? We all have got these settings done wrong, due to which we are not able to enjoy the home cinema to the best of its quality. And that's why in my today's video, I am going to recommend you some of the best video and audio settings that you can do with this Apple TV to get the best experience. So let's get your remotes out and start with the calibration of Apple TV. Okay, first things first, before we jump on with the video and the audio settings of Apple TV, we always recommend to turn on the automatic updates for your Apple TV device. Now to do that, you have to go to the settings and go into the system settings. In this, you will find the software update as well as automatic update feature. Make sure that the latest software is been loaded onto your Apple TV, because Apple releases periodic firmware and software updates which can improvise the performance and fix the bugs that you can have in your system. Now, if the basics are done, let us start with the video as well as the audio settings. The moment you enter into this menu in the settings of the Apple TV, the first thing that you will see is an option to enable HDR or Dolby Vision. Now, obviously, since you have spent high amount of money on your TV or a projector which has a facility to play Dolby Vision or HDR content, you will be advised by your own mind to turn on or enable the Dolby Vision or HDR. But guess what? You should never do that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because not all the content that you will be watching with the Apple TV will be in the HDR or Dolby Vision formats. So the best way is to leave that the way it is. Instead of that, go to the format and in that select 4K SDR. Yes, 4K SDR, and that too at 60 Hz. Now I know you'll be wondering why I'm asking you to do that. Well, the reason for it is that by default content is going to be in SDR and it has to have a 4K standard. Later on, when you go down, you will see an option of match content. Now the magic is all in this menu. When you go into the match content, you will see two options. The first one is match dynamic range. Now the reason why I will ask you to turn this on is because matching this dynamic range will give you all the options of HDR, HDR10 as well as Dolby Vision. The moment you have your match dynamic range turned on, you will have all of these three based upon the content and you will start seeing the results on the screen. The next thing in this same menu is to match frame rate. Now this is going to be again interesting, because most of the times movie makers use 24 Hz as the standard frame rate to shoot a movie, whereas some of the videos on YouTube or on the other platforms can be of 30 Hz or 60 Hz. So you don't want Apple TV to compress or to start stretching the data, and that is why you should always keep the match frame rate on as well. So now with both these settings on, you will start seeing HDR, HDR10 as well as Dolby Vision even without enabling it. Now if this is very clear to you, let us move on to the next option of Chroma. Now in Chroma you have got two options, 4:4:4 and 4:2:0. Now the first option of 4:4:4 requires you to spend good on a quality HDMI cable. So if your cables are not very nice, you can keep it as 4:2:0 so that there won't be any flickering issues. Because this is EDID, which is called Extended Display Information, and that is where you can start having flickering or handshaking issues. And in case you face that, you can always shift back to 4:2:0. And the best advice that I can give you out here is to always invest in good quality HDMI cables. Do not take it for granted that the basic cable that you find online is going to be best. Always rely with your home theater consultant to get the best cables for your Apple TV connections. Now 4:4:4 and 4:2:0, what are the differences? Well, with regards to the picture quality, you will not see much of difference between both of these. But the difference will come in subtitles, in the frame rates, or in probably the small elements that are there in the screen. So that is the small minute information which may be lost, or you will compromise a little bit when you degrade from a 4 is to 4 is to 4 ratio to a 4 is to 2 is to 0 ratio in Chroma. Now, in case you're wondering, how do I know if the HDMI cable that I'm using is great or not? For that, Apple has given you a simple test where they ask you to check your HDMI cable connection. And by doing this, it will do a 2-minute test approximately, and it will give you the results and recommendations for the cable. If the results are satisfactory, stick with what you have done. If not, try to look out for a better cable and better device connections. The next one is HDMI output. In HDMI output, you have got three options: YCBCR, the RGB high and the RGB low. In this, irrespective if it's a TV or a projector screen, the best option is to select YCBCR. And with that, we come to an end of the video settings for Apple TV. So irrespective if you are using a TV or a projector, these are pretty much the standard settings that you need to put on in your Apple TV. Now for some projectors, if they are not supporting HDR or Dolby Vision, or they lack in terms of HDMI 2.1 connection, then yes, 4 is to 2 is to 0 is one option that you have to always select. And the second one is that you will not see Dolby Vision or HDR as an option at the start, which is okay because your device does not support it. Now, if this is very clear to you, let us move on to the audio settings. The audio settings are extremely simple and Apple likes to keep it that way. The first option is to select the audio output. Now in this audio output, you can have multiple devices. For instance, if you're doing a home theater setup, which is with an AV receiver, then obviously the audio output device in your case should be a receiver. In case you're using a soundbar, then you will see a soundbar option and make sure to select the audio output as the soundbar. Now Apple also advises you to use AirPods or HomePods as the wireless audio output devices, and you will see them when you go inside the menu of this audio output. Now after the audio output settings, the next setting is of audio format. In audio format, you will find three options: stereo, Dolby Digital, which is 5.1, and the third one, which is Dolby Atmos. Now in this case, you know your audio system better. If it supports stereo, skip stereo. If it's 5.1, keep 5.1. And if it has Atmos, then please select Dolby Atmos. This way, you will have the best audio experience coming from it. Now again, when you select that, it does not mean you will have all the content giving you Dolby Atmos or Dolby Digital. It is purely based upon the content and your audio system, how it is going to upscale it to maybe Dolby Digital Plus or a Dolby Atmos format. So for the content that you have Dolby Atmos, you will always get Dolby Atmos. For the content which is not Dolby Atmos, it will probably give you a Dolby Digital Plus signal. So that's why keeping it at the highest level will always help you if your system supports it. Now the next two settings in the audio are extremely tricky. The first one is to enhance the dialogues. Now for most of my home theater friends who are having a wired system with an AV receiver, I think you should not play around with this setting. In case you are not getting the right vocals, what you need is the best center speaker, and if you have got it already, then you need to fix up the calibration of your system. Because ideally the vocal should be strong enough with a wired system. To those of you who are using it with soundbars, I can understand that the vocals can be weak, and that is where you cannot probably tweak in. And only to those of you who have this issue, you can select enhance as the option. Now by doing this, it is not going to really modify a lot of the original audio track, but it will definitely try and enhance the vocals. But if you select enhance more, then that is where you are going to lose the original audio track, and it is going to modify that to give you a better vocal experience. Now that may sound lucrative to get the best dialogue levels, but it is not going to give you the best experience for the surround sound. So always keep it either on off or only on enhance based upon how the vocals are getting at your own space. The next setup is of reducing the loud sounds. Now reducing loud sounds is most of the times required if your home theaters are in the living room and you're watching them late at night, where you don't want your parents or your partners to get disturbed with the sudden highs that you have in any movies or any content. In such cases, you can put them on so that it will reduce the sound, but by doing that, you are actually reducing the dynamic range of the original audio track. So in case you are using the home theaters in a defined or a confined space, always put that off. If it is a living room where you want to watch it late at night, you can turn it on. Now obviously all of these settings are not one time. You can play around with it as and how and what time of the day you are going to use the system. Now this brings us to an end of the audio system settings of the Apple TV. But guess what? Apple TV does not just stop here. Apple being Apple, they are going to give you some more tools to get the best output. And that is where the calibration tools at the bottom of this own menu will give you some good video as well as color calibration options. The first one is the color balance. Now in this color balance, you can do a test of how the colors can reciprocate from your final video devices. To the projectors, we have tried and tested, we did not get good satisfactory results. So I will definitely not recommend it to the people who are having the Apple TV used with a projector setup. But to those of you who have a TV, it is not a bad idea to you get out your iPhones and try to calibrate the video of your TVs with the Apple TV's white color balance. Next up is the wireless audio synchronization. Now this is one of my favorite feature because in this you can actually use your iPhone's mic and try to synchronize the video and the audio. Now it is extremely crucial if you are running the Apple TV through multiple devices that there can be a lag where the video can be sent prior and the audio information can come in later. In these cases, you will always have a benefit of using this wireless audio synchronization to match the video with the audio. And the last one is the color bars. Now in the color bars, you can actually adjust the colors of your display. So the color bars is just a standard screen where you have a red, a yellow, a blue and rest of the colors like white, black. So in this, it will allow you to go into your video device settings of the display and then you can change the brightness, contrast, saturation, hues and sharpness. With all of this, you will be able to get better colors and better experience of the device. Now, while these are some of the video and the audio settings of Apple TV, but Apple TV is not going to be solely responsible to give you the best experience. You have to have your home theater calibration done right. If you don't know how to do that, make sure to watch some of our videos where we have shared some of the tips to get your AV receiver calibration done right. Similarly, if you're using soundbar, we have covered some of the soundbars. Please watch that video. And when it comes to the TV or a projector, you have to go into the video settings of the TV and the projector and get them right as well. Because overall, it's a chain of products that finally are going to bring that home cinema experience together. So by only taking off one, you may not still be able to get the best. But definitely when the start, that is the main media source, is rectified and has got the right settings, you can then ensure that the further path of that signal is also corrected properly. That's it from my end. If you have got any queries, feel free to share them in the comment section. And I, Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theatre wale bhaiya, will see you again in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.